Hello, my name is Joseph Sheehan, and I am a student at Liberty University Online. Welcome to my interpersonal communication project for class HSC 508 at Liberty University. I've started to pursue a master's degree in human services to make a life change from a career in commercial finance to a career in human services, which is the direction in which I believe God has chosen me to go. Because after 20 years in commercial finance, I could never find satisfaction or enjoyment. But helping people is what I truly like to do. And that's what I'm looking forward to in working in human services. My overarching goal is to become a mindful listener. Because one thing has become clear is that to be able to understand and work with people and have better communication, you need to be able to listen and understand and fully hear what's being said to you. Some of the things that we've learned in this class has really helped me to realize that I haven't been a mindful listener. So that is my overarching goal. As I've started facilitating domestic violence groups, I've learned that I need to become a better listener to become a better teacher. So I really feel that this is a key element to developing my skills as a human service worker. I also believe that being a mindful listener will help my marriage and help me live the Christian life that I want to live. And I believe that's what God wants from me as well. When I start looking into my behavioral blend, early on in the course, we completed a Uniquely You profile, which used a 4-disc personality type behavior system, which I thought was, I really didn't believe it at first until I went through the whole process and found my results to be extremely accurate, as well as alerting me to the things that I was kind of blind to before. So in the disc, it goes through 4 different personality types. There's a D, which is for an active, task-oriented person who's dominating, directing, demanding, determined, decisive, doing. There's an I for active or people-oriented, inspiring, influencing, inducing, impressing, interactive, interesting. An S for passive, people-oriented, steady, stable, shy, security-oriented, servant, submissive, specialist. A C, passive, task-oriented, cautious, competent, calculating, compliant, careful. What the Uniquely You profile identified for me is what's expected of me is that I'm driven and competent. I'm a D and a C. And what I expect of myself is also a D and a C. I mean, I was kind of blown away at how accurate I believe they were. And it also taught me or identified that I wasn't relational enough to make headway in trying to communicate with people because I was so focused on the task and getting the job accomplished. So I feel this has really helped me to identify a weakness that will become a strength as I continue to work on it. On the positive side of my behavioral blend is because I am focused on accomplishing tasks and I'm attentive to detail, so getting things done accurately in a timely fashion is something that I do pretty regularly. The problem is I'm paying so much attention on getting the task done. I need to make sure that the relationship is there with my client so that we're moving forward in the same direction. I also need to learn that relaxation is not a crime and that I need people around me. I love a challenge and to have a sense of control. I also like quality and correctness, and I like clearly defined tasks. I like leadership that provides reassurance, but I need to accept that total support may not always be available. When the focus of my work is the client, I listen well and I'm able to reflect well. I tend to be more intense than others when I have a task to accomplish. As far as how my kind of behavioral background was kind of developed, I'm a child of a Vietnam War veteran who suffered post-traumatic stress during my whole life. He managed to work until he became disabled from Parkinson's disease related to Agent Orange exposure in Vietnam. Living with my father caused me to be aware of other people's feelings and action. It caused me to be a very good decision maker and to step out to get things done. My parents did a good job raising 3 children, and we all developed strength from dealing with a person who was highly talented, yet had to deal with emotional burdens. Some of the communication barriers that I've identified, really in Peterson's 2015 book, identified the traps: ritual listening, asking Perry Mason questions that have no correct answers, more of like a catch-22, asking for one-word answers, using yes, but when I really mean no. And screens of all sizes, the TV, the phone, internet, all interfere with quality listening. As I've been learning in the course, I finally became aware that I assumed I had good answers for most people and wanted them to listen to me. In the meanwhile, I was not listening to them, so they were not interested in anything I had to offer. The idea of creating a safe environment for a person by reflecting back with empathy, warmth, genuineness, and alliance has been a powerful awareness for me. Some of the resource and strategies I plan to use so that I can stay focused on the changes I need to implement. Number 1 is shut off technology to help me listen better. I already deal with dyslexia, so I don't need any distractions taken away from my listening to the person who's talking. I can notice when I'm doing ritual listening and use reflecting that goes back and forth by asking people what they felt when something happened. And when asking them what they did or thought about, this is to help me focus and to help me decrease the emotional level of the other person. While doing this research, I found a great article on the effectiveness of communication skills training with married couples. And does the issue discussed matter? And there's a lot of great research. I have the article cited in the back of this presentation for further review if anybody would like it. But it really comes down to communication is key in every aspect of our lives, especially our marriages and our relationships. And you have to work on it, and you have to be ready and prepared to continue to work at it. Because otherwise, if you don't, you can slide back into your old traps and the communication breaks down. Another resource that I discovered that I really like is Peterson's Talk and Listen cards. It helped me not rush to solutions. It also lets me, focus and remember that I'm here to listen. I'm not here to judge, decide, solve, or anything. And I find that to be very enlightening. I can consciously acknowledge the client's expectation, anger, and hurt in caring for the person for whom they have the problem. It would not hurt so much if they didn't care. Another great article that I had found while doing my research was, does couples communication predict marital satisfaction, or does marital satisfaction predict communication? And in this, it really highlights the fact that if you have good communication, statistically, you'll have better marital satisfaction. But once again, it also highlighted that people will work on it, and if they don't continue to work on it, they'll slide back into the traps, the ruts, the issues that they had previously. My action plan in regards to my overarching goal is to help people, especially people who have been convicted of domestic violence, to become calmer and have fuller lives. I'll carry talker and listening cards in my pocket and leave a copy on my desk to help me to remember. I'll turn off technology when someone wants to talk with me. I'll let go of expecting people to be the way I think is best for them. Since my goal is to help people, I want to use techniques and skills to be helpful to them. The last piece of my action plan is I can remember that Jesus died on the cross for me and my sins. I can be grateful for all he has done for me. I can count my blessings from God in my prayers every day. Having an attitude of gratitude can help me to feel more joy every day. Joy is infectious and will help my clients. In conclusion, in the end, God is everything. My Father, protector, director, support, joy, security, confidant, love. I need to keep my eyes on God. This will keep me humble. I am a sinner, not better than others. Being humble helps me to speak and listen as equal with others, a necessity for good communication. In conclusion, we must learn to regard people less in the light of what they do or omit to do, and more in the light of what they suffer. Thank you very much for taking this time, and my PowerPoint will be posted. Thank you very much.